welcome back, everybody, to another episode of In the Mouth of Madness, our World War II Marvel Superheroes campaign. I thought I would jump in and give you a little bit of a heads up on our video today. As with most of our games, my players and I like to chat a little bit before we get the ball rolling, and in this particular case we sort of morphed it into role-playing accidentally. So the recap of the previous episode gets dropped in a little bit later than usual. Instead of interrupting the flow, I thought it best just to let things play out, so if it seems a little wonky at first, that's the reason why. As always, I want to thank everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you really like what we do, be sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Dreamslayer Studios. And now, let's pick up mid-conversation as we begin our next episode of In the Mouth of Madness.
Yes, Johnny, we have decided that Shelley has explained to the group that you don't have to call the Eagle Dad. His real name is Bobby.
Is Bobby? Okay.
Yeah.
Bobby the Eagle.
Well, technically Robert, but he went by Bobby.
Okay. And so do we know who that's supposed to be to you, or?
Yeah, it's her dad.
Okay. All right. So we know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, either that or she's completely out of her mind. But that's how she introduced him.
I mean,
it is Shelley.
That's fair. I mean, there's been some stuff, right? Like, oh no, this is my dad, the Eagle. What?
Well, I think she did explain that Horace has brought him back to serve as her protector, to watch over her.
I mean, that's not the weirdest thing I've heard. I mean,
not even this week.
No, not the weirdest thing. Huh. Okay. Is he intelligent? Like a? I mean, I don't.
He's
I'm
not
not trying to.
All of himself. He's still got his instincts and stuff, but he's not quite up to what he was.
Does he remember you?
He definitely remembers me somehow, to some level. There's definitely some kind of bond there. I don't know that he's fully cognizant of his state and what has happened and all of that. Which frankly is probably something that Shelley isn't thinking about a great deal.
Okay. Do we want to fix that?
Can we?
I mean, I don't know. We have to ask the question first. Do we want to try? I mean, if his spirit is there and he's bound to you.
I think she would want her whole dad, not just an echo. But then, does that mean that he's not where he's supposed to be? Is this a copy? Is this the real him? She doesn't know any of that. Horace is not very forthcoming about the arrangement.
God tends not to be.
He's like, here, he'll watch over you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So Horace has provided you with a protector that is bonded to you.
Yes.
That is an echo of your father.
I mean, technically, he said it was my father.
Okay.
So his spirit is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be indelicate, but how? I mean, obviously your father has passed on. How long ago was that?
That was at the beginning of the war.
So not.
He was one of the first. He was a volunteer to help the RAF.
Okay, so he was a soldier also.
Yes, he was a pilot.
Oh, well, that fits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mic check real quick. Hey, I can be heard. Cool.
Yes, you can. Yeah, he passed away 3 years ago. It's 43, isn't it?
43, 44, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just 3 or 4 years ago, right at the beginning of the war.
Okay.
Before America got officially involved, he was an early volunteer that went with the RAF and was shot down.
Okay.
One of the first American casualties of the war, actually.
Okay. Was his body ever recovered? I'm sorry, that's probably...
No, it wasn't. It was a burial in absentia, or whatever they call it.
And you're... Oh, okay. And you're sure he's dead?
They told us that.
Okay.
And Horace seems to have him in the realm of, or access to him, or something, and said that he was passed and put his spirit in the eagle or something like that.
Sure. Okay, I was sorry. I
mean, if you want to poke and ask him questions or whatever, I don't know. You can talk to critters, right?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried.
I can just feel what he like kind of like from him. Like I can tell, like kind of like danger near, or hey, there's something over there, something like that. But not like we can't talk, which is
okay.
A little sad.
So you can communicate, but you can't
sorta
exactly talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff I've seen the last couple of months saying I can talk to animals is, so far below the scale, I believe anything
Right.
at this point.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
mummies, vampires, everything else. You tell me you talk to animals, I believe it. You tell me that you turn into a, whale in your sleep, and I believe it.
Says the guy who turns into a giant metal tank?
Exactly. That's the point. It's hard to kind of say, no, that's just too weird after what we've been through the last couple of months.
Make a fair point.
Weird is certainly relative, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and believe me, I got some relatives that are pretty damn weird.
My family's perfectly
exactly
normal.
But okay.
She's like gives Bobby scritches.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll table that for the moment. But I mean, so are you happy about that arrangement?
I mean, it's better than him not being here at all.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, he seems happy-ish to be here.
Hey, Chris, what does Mr. Arcane know about Horus?
I mean, you would certainly probably be aware that the ancient gods do exist in some form. Mm-hmm. Now, whether they are truly the gods of old, whether they are interdimensional creatures, whether they are alien, whatever the case may be, you may not have the exact definition as to their origins. But yeah, I would say that you're certainly aware that they exist out there somewhere.
Okay.
And he is associated with eagles. Yeah, eagles.
Birds of prey. Falcons, eagles.
Well,
Hawks.
My understanding of Horus is that his, all of these powers have, kind of a focus, God of the sun, God of the dead, blah, blah, blah.
I think his is justice, isn't it?
His is justice and retribution is my understanding.
Yeah, he said I have to earn the sword. So he's got a task for me.
Okay.
He said I would know when I came across it. I'm willing to bet it's probably that demon, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. They have mysterious ways.
Yeah. Did I tell you he made it so I could fly?
No. Well, you mentioned it last.
The sword.
You mentioned it when we were coming out of when there was some discussion about
parachuting.
And
that's a good time to remember that you can fly when you're about to parachute.
Yeah.
Better than remembering afterwards.
So how do you fly? Do you? I mean,
the sword makes me fly. I just have to hold on to it.
I just kind of fall and hope I can survive it.
You're really strong. Can you jump up? Can you jump high?
Yeah, about average, I guess. I haven't really tried it. There's a lot of weight to move here.
True.
Well, and
I guess it depends on how fast you can move the muscles too, not just how strong.
Yeah,
you are.
not very. I get there eventually.
And they know when you arrive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, certainly in your tank form, I mean, it is metal, right? I mean, it is actually metal.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like metal. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I can keep you aloft.
Oh, that'd be good if you can pick it up. I mean, I can just use a parachute in human form, of course. Unfortunately, sometimes, you get kicked out of planes.
No, I don't know.
I have not done that. No.
That's that.
Well,
I mean, thankfully, I have a solution for that. But no, that sounds awful.
Yeah, that's what happened to me on my first jump.
You got kicked
I
out
was
of the
standing
plane?
there looking out the door, and they just gave me a boot on the butt and sent me out the window.
And somehow you don't have trust issues. It's kind of amazing.
mean, I was being, scared.
Of
And
flinging
these were
yourself out of a...
paratroopers.
Sure.
I think it's pretty normal for the first time to get kind of helped out the door. Kind of hard to jump out of a perfectly functional aircraft.
I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't have wanted to do that before.
But the second time I did it myself.
Okay, well, so then what about you, Will? You can't fly, right?
Not last time I checked.
I mean, have you checked lately? Because Shelley couldn't fly.
I am confident in my lack of ability to fly.
Well, I mean, I couldn't get Tank down, and really Shelley.
I'm sure Tank could throw me relatively far, and it would look like flying. It in fact would not be.
I tried to
flying
reserve
for a little
that
while.
for the bad guys.
Not the same, I don't think.
No, not the same.
I might be able to carry you.
I can move other stuff with my brain, so it might be a way to do
Maybe
that.
you can move
I
yourself.
legitimately don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, but you can. You just have to practice.
How does one? It seems like
You threw me real good.
It seems like the degree of failure that is possible to encounter in this particular situation
Maybe
could cause
practice
substantial
before the
issues.
final jump.
Yeah, probably not the best thing to try on the first time.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I want to interject for just a moment because as you guys were kind of discussing all of this, it got me thinking. So this is a little out of game here. But Lizard.
Yes.
I think, theoretically, it would be possible for you to jump out of the plane with no parachute on as Jake, and a moment before impact change to human tank and land and not take any damage.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's the only way you could do it. If you jumped out as human tank, as the rules state, basically, you would be taking... You treat falling as a charging attack. But anything over 3 areas... essentially, you basically get like terminal velocity at that.
Yeah, it does cap out somewhere, but it's pretty high.
Yeah, I'll keep that trick in mind in case I need it.
Plus, if you land on somebody, that's going to leave a mark.
Oh yeah,
So
that is definitely how to do aerial bombardment, right?
Within the rules. The ground, if you land on just solid ground, so we're talking Earth, right? Mm-hmm. Earth essentially is like
typical to good.
Maybe, yeah.
Concrete would be excellent.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
or
So,
stone.
typical to good. So let's say it's soft ground. It's typical. At +3 column shifts, that would put it up to remarkable damage to an individual falling from a plane, a regular human, and most humans would perish at that.
Yeah.
Because your humans usually cap out around about 32 in most cases at the top end. But your typical human is like 24. Okay? So, but if we're treating it as though you are falling as Jake, and what's Jake's endurance? It's not incredible.
I think
right?
it's good. I believe his human level endurance is just good.
Yeah. So he would be falling. He would take remarkable damage. But if you changed at the very last moment, like within the last area before you would hit, you change, you've got incredible body armor. So that would actually soak any damage that Tank would actually take. But if Tank jumped out of the plane from the very beginning and reached terminal velocity, and then landed, I don't know, maybe I guess it would really be the same then, wouldn't it? Because we're really just treating,
because you're just
so
hitting
really
good material.
matter.
I mean, he's gonna have to dig himself out of a crater.
Oh yeah.
He'd drive in right like a tent spike.
Good. It would be good endurance in human form.
Yeah.
Well, I know that some of the things like Hulk or Thing have notes that basically say they can survive falls from X height as simply part of their powers. But in any event, let's get back to this. The current events where hopefully I am not.
That's also part of just the power, the jumping power.
Yeah. That's true too. So.
That would be the worst power ever without that. Jump, okay. Now landing is gonna suck.
So just in case, if your parachute fails, Tank, you might be okay.
I'll keep this in mind if I'm either way. I'm going to angle myself. I'm going to angle myself to land on a Nazi.
So
in case.
When did we start talking about parachuting?
That was discussed before you got on the plane.
Yeah.
What do you mean we're not landing the plane?
Well, they told us we weren't going to land. They said they couldn't land. They had to airdrop us.
But we have parachutes.
They were serious about that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I presume.
Okay.
Now, I do want to backtrack. So we kind of just folded into, just all of a sudden we were playing, and I'm totally cool with that. And with the conversation that you guys were having, I want to backtrack for just a moment. While you guys have been talking about the parachutes and landing and all of this sort of stuff, and then talking about the Eagle and Arcane kind of, doing his questioning. Mr. Arcane, I'm going to have you roll a intuition roll for me, please.
Okay. Do any of my talents apply? Oh no, intuition and run. I don't know what that's for, so I guess I'll use karma. I've got plenty to burn, so unless I can't.
You can use it if you want. Don't bother me.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, so.
All right, so 74. And I gotta get my chart up here and have that ready yet.
So you know what? I'll bump that to a red. Sure. That's not quite 20.
Yeah, it'd be 91, I think, to get you there.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll make that a red.
So, as you were questioning Bombshell about the bird, your attention was kind of drawn to the bird. And we have established that at times you can pick up on auras and stuff like that, right? So just inadvertently, as you're kind of talking about it, you kind of switch that on just a little bit, and you definitely see a different glow about this bird.
Okay.
For sure. And I mean, you've probably sensed animal auras before, and this is not a typical animal aura that you're sensing.
Okay. In what way?
that is going to require a different roll for you, I think.
Okay.
That first one was for free.
Okay. What? Another intuition, or?
I think that you're going to have to cast some sort of spell to be able
sure.
to tell.
Let me look and see what would be an appropriate spell here. Yeah. So there is an enchanted eye spell. Basically, it's let's see. You can automatically summon enchanted eye for 1 round only. Successful spell rank feat brings the eye forth for the full duration. Can only see as sight normally would, but can penetrate darkness, real or magical, and show the caster mystical existences, such as astral projections, invisible magical objects, mystical shields, and so on, and see through illusions.
Okay. I think that's good.
Seems like the most appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast that. I think we said that my kind of general magical skill is remarkable. Yep. And so I'll spend karma because I want to know.
Okay.
So 86.
Yep. And that would...
so 10 would put me in a red. So...
Yep, sure would. Okay, so you bring out the enchanted eye. And I think that probably looks very much like what it would have looked like in the early days of Doctor Strange. Would that have been Kirby? Did he do that?
Ditko.
I can't remember. It was Ditko. Yeah.
Yes.
Where it was kind of the Eye of Agamotto, I believe, that kind of just appeared on his forehead. So that lights up and takes a very close look at Bobby the Eagle. And what you're seeing, you have been around this bird now for several days, have kind of gotten used to its presence. And I mean, you have treated it as what it looks like, which is a large bird of prey. But looking at it now through the Eye of Agamotto, it has a physical form, it has a physical presence. But now that you are peering through this third eye, you can see through it.
Okay.
And this is kind of unlike anything that you've seen before, but at your best guess, this is a solidified astral form.
Okay. All right, so it's a manifest astral form. What does it look like astrally? Does it still look like a bird?
It still looks like a bird. Still looks like a bird. And I mean, it has a kind of a bluish hue to it.
Okay.
And
does that
like
have
little
any
sparkles and stuff that kind of sparkle around it. Not necessarily, but I mean, you certainly find it odd. I mean, it looks like an astral form, but I mean, you have seen it. You have probably give it little scritches. It feels like a real bird, and it has physical form, and it can physically interact with the world around it. But looking at it with the Eye of Agamotto, it looks like an astral form.
So it's more like a spirit than it is a physical bird.
It's both.
Yeah. Okay.
And anyone else looking at it, would just assume it's just a regular bird.
Well, so it's apparent what he's doing, right? What Mr. Arcane's doing. So he does look a little confused, a little perplexed, but well, he's definitely no normal bird, so you're for sure not crazy.
At least not about that.
Right, sure. Not. I mean, you're crazy, but not about this specific thing. But it is a spirit made manifest, which I don't have a good explanation for. That's not normally how that works. So
I figure Horace can do what he wants.
Well, they certainly, these, divine powers, these dimensional entities can break our rules. They're just rules for us.
Yeah.
So good news. This isn't just some bird, and you're not just making this up. So.
Cool. Yay.
All right, so I think I'm going to give you guys a little recap since it's been a little bit since we met. Kind of catch us up to where we are right now, and then we'll probably be taking the leap here very shortly.
We just discussed what happens if we take leaps.
Crunch.
So last time on In the Mouth of Madness, our band of heroes ventured into the dreaded shadows of the Black Forest just outside Frankfurt on their quest to retrieve the Spear of Destiny. Rumor in the town confirmed the presence of a flower peddler associated with the Gypsy clan, who are said to call the Black Forest home. The description of the peddler matching the one who sold the poisonous white roses to the SS officers just before the disappearance of the spear from the German army barracks. In the woods, the heroes were overcome by the sickeningly sweet smell of roses and nearly succumbed to sleep themselves, putting them at a bit of a disadvantage if they were to meet any confrontation from the gypsy thieves. The human tank, in rare form, decided to use his mouth instead of his fists and brokered a parley with the gypsies, wherein the heroes discovered that the gypsies had been taken advantage of by a demon of the Nephilim named Azazel, forced to steal the spear in exchange for their lives. Azazel is apparently in employ of a man known as the Lord of Death, who has taken hold of a former property owned by the infamous Vlad Dracula in Bucharest, the infamous Castle of the Dragon. The hero's MI6 contact, Heinrich Brühl, has sequestered a plane for the heroes, which we are now obviously flying in, to parachute into a small town outside of Bucharest called Otopany. So we join our heroes as they are flying in, ready or not to parachute into the small farming town in the dead of night. Once in Bucharest, they are to seek out a friend of the gypsies, a young boy by the name of Alexandru. And, as you all have noted, we do have a new player here with us tonight, Beth. And with that in mind, I'm going to add a little bit of a caveat to what it was that Heinrich Brühl had told you. He lets you know that he has alerted an agent on the ground in Bucharest, someone that has been a friend of the French resistance and has been brought in with British intelligence and is doing some recon work behind enemy lines. It is a female, originally hailing from the country known as Wakanda. And she goes by the code name Spartan. She's going to be on the lookout for you as you land in the landing zone, and should be able to get you into Bucharest under cover of night unaccosted. So you probably won't need to find her. She will find you.
But we're so subtle.
Yeah, we are so subtle.
Nobody could ever find... All right, I'm going to stop.
So you guys are... Yeah, go ahead.
So you said she's from where?
The country of Wakanda.
And we're all like, well, what?
Not familiar.
Not extremely common knowledge in this time period, but it is a ancient African nation that we have only begun dealings with at this time. And
I have multiple PhDs and I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe you have. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I don't know, because the Wakandans have always been so good at kind of keeping their stuff internal, and his thing is kind of artifacts. He would be super interested if he had any idea what was there. But I'm pretty sure he's exactly the kind of person they make sure has no idea what's there.
That looks culturally significant. I'll take it.
No, I'm not British. But
are you sure?
I remember seeing all those British Museum cartoons of "Is mine now." I need to refill my water. I will be away from the keyboard for just a second.
All right.
Okay.
So this Wakanda is an ally country, then?
As allies, they want to be, yes.
Okay.
They are only now venturing out into the outside world. Their country has remained hidden for many years, and there are very few within power that are in the know. Now, I will say that it is rather apparent that Hitler and his ilk are certainly now aware of the Wakandans and what apparently is hidden behind their borders. Something that they are very protective of.
Reserves?
Okay.
What reserves?
Gold reserves, maybe?
You all are aware of Captain America and the shield that he possesses, yes?
Very fancy.
Oh, sure. I've
shiny.
seen the reels.
That thing doesn't even pretend to obey the laws of physics.
And there's a reason apparently for that. You see, Howard Stark was one of the first to make contact with the King of Wakanda. And somehow brokered a deal to utilize some material from behind their city walls. The one thing that they keep very protected is a very precious metal that can only be found in Wakanda. Nearly indestructible. We have not found anything that can actually destroy it.
Well, I was convinced it was mystical.
Huh.
Oh, no. Well, we can't let them get a hold of that.
True. But I would not be surprised if our illustrious agent on the ground in Bucharest might perhaps have something of the like herself.
Oh.
Really?
Cool. Good for her.
Okay, and her
like
name
having
is...
good kit.
She goes by the codename Spartan.
Okay. What does she look like? Or, I mean, how will we know her?
Does she know who we are? Does she know our code names and such?
She's been briefed on who will be landing, yes.
Okay. And you said she'll find us, so when somebody shows up and knows our names and says they're Spartan, I guess pretty good.
I don't know how this spy stuff works. I don't know. Sure.
I do kind of know how this spy stuff works. Is there a code word a call and response maybe?
We'd use those. I remember about those basic.
Beth, what do you want the code word to be?
I know. Peaches.
Peaches.
Peaches. Okay.
Peaches it is.
What's a typical thing around there?
The code word is peaches.
Just work that into a sentence. Okay, we can do that.
Okay. Peaches. All right.
Oh yes, I'm quite sure that human tanks, extreme subtlety will come into play here.
Oh yeah,
I like peaches.
Just, like in the middle of the town square, just
Just screaming peaches. You know, it'd be really good right now. Some
The peaches.
little kid comes up.
I honestly could see all of us except for Will and Mr. Arcane doing that.
While Will and Mr. Arcane just sit here like this.
Yeah,
exactly.
It seems like a bad idea. I don't know.
We're gonna die.
Well, the pilot kind of shouts back at you guys and lets you know that you're nearing the drop zone and to go ahead and suit up. Now, question for you all. Mm-hmm. Originally, you had access to the SS garb and then also kind of just generic everyday clothes. And then obviously underneath those clothes, you probably have your costumes, etc. So how are you planning on arriving? And how will you appear?
Are we landing in occupied territory still? I believe so. Bucharest?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But somewhat behind lines, right?
Yeah. I think that probably we're better off looking like generic citizens. If we're in uniform, we could attract attention both from other Nazis that expect us to help them, or from resistance members who will try to kill us. So it might be good to just kind of blend into the crowd. We still have those translators, right?
Yep.
I'm with Tank on this one.
Okay.
Shelly just kind of looks around at you all, the 6 foot tall blonde. With the eagle on her shoulder.
Yeah.
You're at the very
sword.
I'm blending. Right. Okay.
All you need is a Viking helmet, and then they'll what are you talking about?
It's like an opera thing that
Right.
Germans love that. If any Germans start getting suspicious, just start screaming at the top of your lungs. They'll think it's
helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
In Italian, right?
Yeah.
That'll work.
Okay, so normal clothes. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Shelly will put a long dress on over her costume, but under the jacket. Hopefully that will not be too...
You're imagining her jumping out of the plane, aren't you?
I'm going to hope that since I was part of the U.S. troops in North Africa, that at some point I got basic paratroop training as part of... I think I just have soldier as a talent, reflecting basic military training. So I should be able to suit up properly. And I will help my teammates, you pull on this one. And if that don't work, you pull on this one. And if that don't work, try to remember what they taught you in Sunday school.
Hey.
Stick your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye.
I am a widely respected academic with multiple advanced degrees. I've got this. 3 minutes later, it's on backwards and upside down. Something has gone wrong.
Nope. How did you even
Shelley's looking at you
your
like,
head through there?
Yeah.
I think I nodded it.
I think it's backwards and upside down.
Drop zone in 30 seconds.
Pass. Yeah, I'm going to pass on any of that. No, thank you.
I'm already bundled up enough between the 2 layers, the 3 layers.
Shelley, you mentioned that you could carry me.
Yeah, I think I can carry you.
My dignity is dead, so yeah.
I mean, I understand. Believe me, I've been in similar situations. It's okay. I'll try to carry you in as manly a fashion as possible.
I appreciate that. On the way down, you can tell me about the situations where you were tied up. I would appreciate that.
Okay.
I mean, there was this one time.
And I was joking, okay?
But I wasn't supposed to talk about that.
So, Johnny, you're going to float down, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to jump out. And I'll kind of stay within eyesight of tank just in case he has an issue.
Okay. All right. So
because Shelly's got Will, and so that's just the two of us left.
All right. Well, with that being the case, then Tank, if you will make a, I think I don't know. How mean am I going to be to you?
I'm in human form, so if it's based on my stats, it isn't going to be that great. But
I think it's actually going to have to be a reason feat with a +1 column shift with your military training.
Yeah, I think I'm going to spend some karma on this. Let's get the karma spending started. So I'll roll.
Hey, there you go.
I am not bad. So
That's all
it's
you
up
need.
to 61. I can take that stuff off my karma.
There you go. All right, so you jump out of the plane. Everybody else flies, and
am I really the only person that can't fly in this group?
Apparently, well, no.
Will can't.
He's just being carried like a wee babe.
Okay.
He's being cradled. He's being cradled.
No, she's trying to do just one arm around his back and under his shoulder, like side by side. And she's just got a really good grip of his jacket in him.
Okay. So make a
sergeant
strength check.
said to me, "Come on,
I mean,
you want to live forever."
I'm definitely going to die.
I'll spend karma on this, Jim.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, you got a good grip on him.
Oh, wow. I rolled for Bobby, but whatever.
I really wanted it to just be the Superman and Lois kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. She's being sensitive to his
Can you read my mind?
Ego.
Honestly, I was expecting the Superman and Lois thing too, so, whatever works.
I mean, you may have gotten it if I had failed the first roll.
That's fair.
All right, so as you descend from the night sky, you're gently gliding towards the earth below. You find yourselves approaching the quaint farming town of Otopany, nestled amidst the rolling hills outside of Bucharest. From above, the landscape appears as a patchwork quilt of green fields and orchards, dotted with rustic farmhouses and barns. And I gotta pause for just a second. For some reason now I'm getting some sort of feedback. Are you guys hearing that?
I think it's from one of the mics.
I'm far enough away from Beth that we shouldn't be getting any feedback locally.
Okay.
I'm not hearing anything.
Actually, I wonder maybe Beth, if maybe we could turn her mic down just a little bit, because I think that may be it, because she's coming in really hot when she speaks.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out where those settings are on her machine. I'll be right back.
Okay.
My phone.
I think that may be what it is. It's just bouncing.
Yeah. It's her profile that's lighting up.
Is
in
it?
the Zoom chat.
Sorry about all this.
No, it's all right.
Hi, Boothie.
All right, I'm going to talk really loud and see if that does it. Hey, check 1, check 2.
So far,
1, 2, 3. I think it's okay now. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
seems.
And it may. I'm wondering too if it may just be because it's pointed at the wall, maybe right behind her. I don't know.
That might help.
Sure. How
bounce.
to change the microphone volume? Change
it's in input devices when you
input volume. Maybe that's it. Oh yeah, microphone. Okay, I've
Yep.
dropped the microphone volume down. Raise the speaker volume so she can hear back up. Let's try. The microphone volume keeps going up even though I set it down.
It's probably on auto detect.
Keep the laptop a little further from your face. That's about all I can think of at this point. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that'll help. I dropped it as much as I could.
All right, we'll keep trying here, and maybe I need to learn not to project as well. It's all that theatrical training. Okay, so as you draw closer to the ground, the details of the town come into sharper focus. Autopony is a picture-perfect slice of rural life, with neat rows of crops stretching out towards the horizon and lazy streams winding their way through the countryside. The scent of freshly turned earth and ripening fruit hangs in the air as you glide in, carried on a gentle breeze that rustles through the fields. The town itself, as you can see in the distance, is a cluster of low-slung buildings arranged around a central square, where a quaint stone church with a weathered steeple stands as the focal point. Surrounding the square are shops and homes, their facades painted in cheerful pastel hues that contrast with the verdant landscape. But as you guys touch down on the outskirts of Autopony, you find yourselves shrouded in darkness and silence. The streets that should be bustling with activity, well, maybe during the day normally would be bustling with activity, are eerily empty. The windows of the houses boarded up and dark. A sense of unease kind of settles over you as you take in the scene before them, wondering perhaps what secrets this seemingly peaceful town may hold. Beth, your character Spartan, has basically been waiting in the steeple of that church, kind of just perched on the outside, just kind of keeping watch in the night sky for any parachutes that might open. You see one parachute that opens, and lights in the field off to the west of the town. And then you see a few other figures kind of approach of their own power, kind of floating in around the parachute, and that must be the folks that you were sent here to meet.
Yeah, go out to meet them then.
All right. So you end up going out into the field, and I'm going to have you make an agility roll for me, please.
Yeah, let me get the right screen. From memos here are others.
All right, so 65. All right, so those of you that are on the ground, if you will, make an intuition roll, and this will be a group intuition roll for us here. So the majority wins on this. So we got a white for that's for Bombshell, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, and another white.
I mean,
Yeah.
And another white.
Mr. Arcane didn't make it. Now that's bad.
yeah. I'm preoccupied with making sure Tank doesn't plummet to his death.
And Don, you could roll, but truthfully, at this point, I don't think it will matter.
I'm sorry, what am I rolling?
It actually won't matter at this point anyway, because you got 3 whites going for you at this point. So it was a group roll anyhow. So you could get a red, and it probably wouldn't matter.
What if I get a 69?
Oh, that's true. So go ahead. You're gonna roll intuition.
I got a 39, which is a lot like a 69, except not.
Except worse.
Except
We're
much
making
worse.
a great impression here. Cool.
All right, so it's really dark out, and Human Tank is having a little bit of difficulty getting the parachute off of him right now, kind of getting tangled up in some of the strings and stuff. And you guys are maybe all kind of focused on him, trying to help him. And no, just move him. He needs to go underneath.
Definitely a Three Stooges moment.
Is
Getting him more tangled.
How is
Just cut it off.
How are there more chords than we started with?
Shelly just takes
I'm
her
gonna
sword
blame
out.
Baron
Enough.
Zemo.
That seems legitimate.
This is just ridiculous.
Beth, you have snuck up on them and are standing about 10 feet away from them at this point.
From the biggest group of noobs you have ever seen in your life.
I don't think she's here.
Yeah, well, you know how these things go. There's always some snafu somewhere. You know,
I think we're in the wrong spot.
these little German or Bucharest or whatever it is towns all look the same to me, okay?
I can't see anything. It's too dark.
Does anyone have a light?
You never want to put on a light. You put on a light, a sniper gets you.
I don't think they have snipers in the woods.
Where else would you have them?
Not up in that church steeple would be a great spot.
Yeah.
Where there are likely to be targets?
I stand there and listen to them.
Well, maybe she's in town.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably like at some sort of fruit vendor with the peaches thing. That makes sense.
Work.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do they even have peaches here?
I don't know. How do you say peaches in German?
Das Peachen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that tracks.
I laugh.
You hear
Who
this
dat?
laughter that just bursts out from behind you guys as you are all having this discussion in the entanglement. And you see a very tall, beautiful woman with blonde hair and light skin. And are you dressed in your Wakandan finery, or are you dressed differently?
No, I'm passing as a village native somewhere. Probably everyday clothes.
Okay. But she is kind of almost abnormally tall.
Okay. So, sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you... He looks around, and looks at the rest of them. Do you have any peaches?
Yes.
That was very subtle. Good job.
Excellent.
Are they fresh peaches, or are they...
Again.
Okay, I think we've confirmed. I think we're good.
Yeah.
She's. Well, hi. Aren't you tall?
What happened to Tank? How has he been replaced by this international man of mystery?
Shelly's gonna walk over and offer a hand, say hi. I'm Shelly Ames, Bombshell.
I'm Miss Warden. You can call me Sandy.
Nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever seen another girl as tall as me. This is great. I don't feel like the giant.
I mean...
You can call me Jake. Some people call me the human tank. You'll see why if we get in trouble.
I've seen pictures.
Ah, good. Then you ain't gonna freak out when I, suddenly grow a foot and turn into metal. That's good.
It is disconcerting. I'm Will. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Hi, and I'm Hank.
Good to meet you. I will take you to a safe place.
And she begins to lead you guys towards Bucharest. You'll have to go through Otopany to get there. And it's roughly about a 30-minute walk to the outskirts of Bucharest. And as I said before, it's very dark, it's very eerie out here, and abnormally silent as you guys are walking through. There's a little bit of a mist in the air, just adding a little extra air of mystery to your journey into the main city. Once you reach Bucharest, you really do now kind of discover the signs of the struggle and strife that this town has been under. The buildings bear the scars of recent conflict, and their walls are pocked with bullet holes and scorch marks. Abandoned vehicles litter the streets, their doors hanging open and their interiors ransacked. And it becomes clear that Bucharest is no longer the idyllic, bustling town that it once was. Something sinister has taken root here, lurking in the shadows and waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek the truth. Now, Spartan mentioned that she would take you somewhere safe. And there is a burned out old warehouse there that she has kind of set up shop in, and you can tell that some maybe other insurgents, some other members of the French resistance maybe have used this place from time to time. There's a few little mattresses here and there that are kind of spread out throughout the area, which have been kind of discreetly covered up by, some crates and stuff, which she begins to kind of pull aside and offers you guys a chance to kind of bed down for the night, and then begin your search for Alexandru in the morning in the town square.
Okay.
Right on.
I'll put a plate of dried meats and cheeses for them to eat.
Oh. Thank you.
Snacks.
Hey, this is good. We don't normally get snacks on these missions.
I'm sorry there's no bread, but it's very hard to get.
Well, it is war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more than I expected. Thank you.
Shelly will look to the eagle on her shoulder and say, "Hey, Dad, do you mind keeping an eye out up above?"
Yeah, that's never not going to be weird.
It's certainly been a long couple of days for you guys, and sleep kind of comes to you rather easily, despite the fact that it's rather chilly in here and kind of smoky a little bit. You can kind of smell, the smoke in the air.
Right.
But you're able to actually get, a fairly peaceful sleep. When dawn breaks in the morning, that's pretty much what begins to wake you up as the sun rises. So you're able to get maybe about 6 hours of sleep or so tonight. And I don't know if anybody had any injuries left from the last time. It looks like you guys are all in pretty good shape. So in the morning, then you can kind of begin the process of kind of searching for this gypsy boy named Alexandru.
All right.
Okay.
Shelly will get up and smooth out her dress, trying to make it a little less lumpy as it's over the uniform and everything, and she's still trying to hide the sword and the coat. It's like, this is, well, I'm just gonna hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. We should maybe see if there's some way that we can. Let's see. Well, that's
actually,
probably
I'm gonna ask if Dad can find a little boy who matches the description.
Okay.
Around town. I'll have him fly around the town square and see if he sees the boy hanging out.
Sure.
It might save us, making a spectacle of ourselves.
Yeah. If you want to take Bobby out for a spin and make an intuition roll.
Okay.
And I think he's got. Does he have any bonuses?
Yes.
Okay.
He's got remarkable intuition for that stuff.
Okay.
Assuming I can find the page that I had. See, this is the problem when you start looking up Google Maps trying to see what Bucharest looks like.
Okay.
And how far is it from France? And I'm like, oh, wow, the French resistance has gone a really long way.
Whenever I'm writing, I always go down these rabbit holes. Like, okay, so the story's in Chicago and it's a Starbucks. Let's find every Starbucks in Chicago. Okay, there's a good one, but I don't know. I don't really like the street it's on. Let me see if I can find a better one. You can just make up a Starbucks. Says one part of me.
And that's why I wrote 200 words today instead of how many I was hoping to.
Yep.
But I can tell you all about the history of this part of New Orleans after it got flooded in that one bout of whooping cough from the 1830s.
One trick I found is to create a fictional town, but find a similar town in in roughly the same geographical area, and kind of use that for minor color. Like, okay, so there's 2 coffee shops and a bait store. I can put that into my fictional town, and it feels real.
So I actually figured out
up, Rocket,
what real house the people in my my YA novel lived in, and like mapped everything out from there. So if you're familiar with the area, you can actually figure it out based on the descriptions, which led my wife to kind of lean in and look at me and go, was it our house? Like, no, it's not.
It's a very, very fine house.
That's right.
Nice.
So, looks like the eyeballs are working good today.
Yeah, that was a pretty good roll. So the description was kind of in the center of town is where he usually kind of hangs out. And if we go by that would be the area of Bucharest called Old Town. And there's kind of a large kind of like almost like a canal that kind of runs through that area and has like a beautiful little centralized pool in the middle of it. And it's kind of surrounded by a large park, and within this park it looks like there's a lot of vendors that have kind of set up in this area. Now there's not really a lot of touristy stuff going on right now because of the situation that they are currently under.
Yeah.
But there are folks that are kind of milling about in that area. And Bobby does end up spotting a young boy that looks to be about maybe 14, 15 years old, dressed in kind of colorful clothes. Not very subtle at all.
Right.
But almost like a rainbow of colors with kind of a colorful shirt, with a cloth belt that kind of dangles off the end, and it's got little baubles and bangles hanging off of it. He's got long black hair, dark-skinned, and has kind of a headband that's kind of pulling the hair back just a little bit. But that certainly fits the description that was given.
Yeah, Shelley's like eyes are like completely like glassed over.
Let's go abduct a child.
Oh,
yep, but I see him. He's kind of right where we thought he was going to be. Let's go.
So you can see through the eagle.
Yeah. Look at it. Very handy.
All right, so you guys head into the park area.
Yep.
Oh, before they leave the warehouse, I'm sure that the men have some sort of bandage or some would indicate they are wounded. So people don't say to themselves, why are the able-bodied men in this town?
Smart.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah.
So Spartan will take a little bit of time and kind of give you guys some bandages and kind of disguise you a little bit. That's a really great idea. And you guys can then wander into the park, and keeping an eye on Alexandria with Bobby the whole time, you're able to kind of locate him really pretty quickly. And he is standing next to a fruit stand and just flipping a coin in the air.
And eating peaches.
I was about to say, does he have any peaches? All comes back to peaches, man.
Yeah. This will have to go down in the history books as Operation Peaches.
Peach.
Operation Peach Cobbler.
Yes.
So, when they come into vision, Shelley will try to catch his eye and kind of discreetly give him a little wave.
Mm-hmm. He flips the coin a couple more times. He looks over at you, and then tosses the coin to the Witcher. I'm sorry, the vendor, who
now I gotta listen to that.
Allows him to pull some apples off of the cart, which he brings over with him, and then begins to toss those in your direction as he approaches. And he says, "You must be the people that Margali sent me a message about. I have been waiting for you."
Yes. We are here to make a mess of things.
She tells me you wish to venture to the Castle of the Dragon, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's been on my bucket list.
Very interesting place that you want to go to.
Oh, I bet it's
We're
great.
We're interesting folks. Fit right in.
Yeah, true. I'm so interesting. My mom says.
Alexandru says that the Castle of the Dragon is a very interesting place that you want to visit. I know a little bit about it from my time here. It's an old fortress on the edge of Bucharest, on the opposite side of the city. And it's straight out of, how do you say, a dime novel?
Yeah, I remember those. Or yeah, like those pulps.
They call it the Castle of the Dragon because it has the dragon's carvings all over the walls, like it's guarding some sort of mystical treasure. Now, way back when this Vlad Dracula, yes, the Dracula that you know of, he comes into town and he claims this castle as his own.
So I don't want to be... I don't mean to interrupt here, but when you say Dracula, we're talking, I do not drink wine,
like the Bela Lugosi. The Bela Lugosi
yeah,
guy.
Bela Lugosi, yeah.
That was based on a real guy.
It was indeed. They called him the Impaler.
Yeah.
When he
that
was
does
alive.
not sound like a cuddly nickname.
No, it was not. But it was his thirst for blood that brought him to the Dracula that you know.
Yeah.
But while he was alive, he was rumored to have been dabbling in all sorts of dark arts, holding secret meetings and performing eerie rituals inside these ancient walls. Some even say that there was a hidden chamber where he keeps a book chock full of these spooky spells. But we come to today, and the castle, the way it is now, it has seen better days. It's crumbling and spooky, but there's a strange energy around it. Folks from Bucharest swear that they have seen ghostly dragons soaring around, and there's whispers in the wind like echoes of the past. It seems as though the castle is holding on to its secrets very, very tightly, waiting for some brave soul to uncover them. So,
I'm feeling less brave every second that you keep talking, young man.
well, it is all part of
Shelley?
The adventurer, yeah?
His aunt is a werewolf, remember?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Okay.
Well, I can take you. Just keep your wits about you, and watch out for any surprises along the way. And I should warn you, there are wolves along the path. But you are with Alexandru, and Alexandru talks to the wolves. So they should be of little concern.
All right.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Sure.
You're a very, very suave young man. Old beyond your years.
That's what all the ladies say.
Uh-huh. I bet they do. You little charmer. I see you.
He tells you that it is a bit of a haul.
Okay.
To get where
She will ask him if anybody's seen anybody coming and going from the place, like supplies, cars.
It has been seen that there has been some activity there for sure. Trucks, yes. And there are rumors of cloaked figures coming in and out of the castle.
I suppose that's expected. So
Now,
we have no idea how many.
No, not so much. But there is certainly activity there. The castle was abandoned for many years, but someone has certainly moved in recent weeks.
Yes. Someone calling himself the Master of Death. Or Lord of Death.
Well, that is a name that we do not speak around here.
Oh. Is known to you?
I have heard of him, yes. Is that who you believe that is there?
Yeah. That's, I mean, that's what the intel suggests.
Well, rumors and superstition. The people here in this town are afraid of this Master of Death, as they call him, but I have seen him, and he is a wimpy old man. And certainly nothing that you should be too concerned about. If that is indeed who is there, he would be of little concern.
Try not to judge by appearances too much. I've got myself in trouble by that.
Well, if you are ready, I am ready, and I shall take you where you need to go.
All right. Well, thank you,
Alexander. What time of day is it?
Right now, it's early morning.
Perfect time to go.
Yep.
How long does it take to get there, Alexandru?
It is about 2 hours to get there. On foot. And I would suggest that we do go on foot. We don't want to draw too much attention by taking a cart or anything like that. Just better to go on foot. And again, with it being daytime, the wolves will not be out quite as much. It is at dusk when they begin their hunts.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hurt any wolves. That would probably put us on bad terms with people. She says, right. kind of uncomfortably.
Right, like Mr. Russo. Right.
Okay. So, as Alexandru said, it is a bit of a haul to get out there, but your journey there is pretty easy. It's a little bit of a curvy walk, going down these side trails and roads and stuff to get there. And a little bit of rain begins to fall and trickle kind of as you go, but it's nothing too pervasive. And off in the distance, after you walk about an hour and 45 minutes or so, you begin now to kind of see in the mountains this form of this castle begin to take shape. And it is a looming presence that overlooks the town. You see that it's kind of made out of some sort of dark stone from the outside. And the old vestiges kind of still bear the marks of it being a fortress of its day. and there are spikes that are kind of sticking out of the facade of the castle itself. It's a little hard to kind of make out the shape of it because it's almost like it's kind of jutting out of the mountain itself. But as you guys approach, I'll pull you here to the map so you can kind of see. And you definitely are not this close, but I don't have a lot of room around the map here to show you. And you can kind of place yourself differently once we get inside there. But there is a wall that surrounds the fortress itself that runs the entire parameter of the castle. As you guys get a little bit closer, you can see that there's kind of a central building with several tall pillars, 4 tall pillars in the center. And then the castle itself is a little bit behind that back in here. The wall has like guard posts and towers at various locations, and they're the little kind of square and rectangular areas here on the map. And as you get close, you can detect some movement up along the wall itself. Now, Beth, if you can maybe put your cursor over one of those individuals that's on top of the wall up there, you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner a picture will appear. They are red cloaked figures, and upon closer look, they have almost like a wolfen type appearance that is kind of jutting out of the hoods. And their body appears to be rather furry.
So they're wolves, but they also have red hoods. So it's like if Red Riding Hood and the wolf had a kid.
Or, the wolf ate Red Riding Hood and took her cloak.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens in the story is he eats her.
Yeah, but we're in a code-approved book here, so...
Okay, so what are we thinking? So, Alexandra, do you know like a secret way in? Is there like a tunnel or something that goes into the castle?
Well, I am brave, but I am not stupid.
So you haven't looked that close?
No, this is about as close as I will go.
Well, I appreciate your help. We all do. Thank you very much.
And he sniffs the air. He says, despite the fact that they look as the way that they do, these are not my brethren.
Okay, good.
And that also means they are not like me.
Wow.
The facade that they wear, I do not believe that is actually what they look like. I believe that from the smell of it, these are simply men appearing to be wolf.
Okay. So they're trying to be more scary.
But I still would not go no further.
Shelley will take out the last of her German money that she has that they were given for, spending and stuff like that while they were in wherever the hell they were.
Germany.
Or were they? Well, I mean, yeah, but we were in what was it?
Frankfurt.
Yeah. And she will hand it over to him. So I don't know if you can do anything with this stuff, but I probably won't need it.
You are too kind, my beautiful Amazon.
You have a safe trip back. Stay out of trouble, okay? Well,
safe journeys to you.
She just kind of rolls her neck and starts taking off her jacket, and she's going to get out of this peasant dress or whatever the hell it is and just be in her uniform.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's time to go to work.
Yep.
All right, so tell me about your approach and how you want to handle this.
Well, we can go right over the wall. Tank can go right through the wall.
How well lit is the approach to the castle proper? And how good of a line of sight do the various towers have on it?
It doesn't look like the cultists have spotted us, or first of all?
Well, and as I said, where I've got you placed, that's definitely not where you would probably be at this point.
Okay.
So you would probably be further off in the forest over here. So you would have some cover.
Okay.
Now, along this upper side up here, this is all forest up in this area up in here.
So we can get right up to the wall practically.
On the opposite side, you can see that there's kind of a trail that goes along the side, but just beyond that is a tall rock wall, sheer kind of cliff. So that side is maybe not the best, probably, to try to maybe breach. So this more area over here is definitely more in cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can bring. I could probably bring Will and Tank up to the top and drop them off.
Spartan, can you fly?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But I can probably climb
out of
the wall.
Let me see if I can do this. Let's think. All right.
I mean, you could also do the moving of people to the top of the wall.
Yeah.
And I could bring you.
I think it's better. Yeah. I think if we come over to here and start dropping folks off right here.
I could climb a tree and jump on the wall.
Well, I can use my abilities to put everyone else on top of the wall who can't fly. And then we can get me up and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I will say that as far as like the tree line and the wall, the wall towers over top of the trees. It would probably be easier for someone to place you guys up there or to fly in for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Will's going to use his TK and pick people up and deposit them right here.
Okay. I'm going to move you guys kind of in that general direction over there.
Okay. And then Will is going to try, because it seems like it's coming up fairly often. It's like, okay, yeah, it logically it makes perfect sense. Just reach out to the same thing and just move myself up there. So I'm going to try to I'm going to try to power stunt.
Okay.
And
with
fly.
Dark Force to try to fly. So what do I got to do?
All right. So you're going to spend 100 karma points.
Oh, I thought it was 1,000. That's so much better.
Oh yeah, it's so much better. Yeah. 100 karma points and call karma.
Okay.
And on the first roll, in order to succeed, you actually have to get a red the first time.
Okay.
The second time you try it, you have to get a yellow. The third time you try it, you have to get a green. After that, it just becomes a regular extension of that power.
So, yeah, with calling karma, what you really need to do is roll a yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to roll a yellow.
And then be able to push it into red.
Rank.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
I'm going to be ready to catch him.
And I'm rolling this off of Dark Force.
Now, you can already put everybody else up there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can fly, so...
So I got a yellow.
Nice.
So how much do I have to spend? Because that...
All right.
Let's get the chart out.
Yeah. So you are at a 68 on Remarkable, so you need to get it up to...
I just realized that one more. One more.
One more would have been an auto success.
I need to get up to what now?
95.
95? Okay. 95 minus 68 equals 27. Okay.
And then you spent your 100, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so just make a note, either on your character sheet or on a piece of paper off to the side, that you have made one attempt at, let's call it levitation, rather than flight, probably. Because I don't think speed-wise he'd be able to really attain like flight speed with that.
Will that come with later, or?
It's possible, yeah. I think that would probably be the next step up on that, yeah.
Okay. Let's see, how do I make a note on here?
You gotta hit the little edit button.
Yep. If you look in, hover over the character sheet itself, like where all of your stats and everything are, you'll see a little edit box.
Oh, there it is. Up. Yep. I was looking in the wrong spot.
And I've got Bobby on patrol.
I didn't mean to do that, but
oh yeah, I didn't bring Bobby out, did I?
Yeah, he's just high altitude, just keeping an eye on things. Anything that any kind of disturbance, any weird appearances, he's gonna let us know.
Gotcha. All right, he's on the map there for you if you want to put him where you want to put him.
And could you come help me open my character sheet?
Sure, I'll be right there.
All right, and I would say, just for sake of doing it, let's go ahead and roll initiative while he's doing that.
Dreamslayer Studios presents a wide selection of live tabletop role-playing game campaigns, specializing in fresh new independent games like Tales from the Loop and the Great American Novel, as well as traditional games, such as the original Marvel Superheroes RPG by TSR and Savage Worlds. Our Game Master works hand-in-hand with the players to create one-of-a-kind original stories that are jam-packed with intense battles and in-depth character development that rely on creative and collaborative communal storytelling. So, if you're in the mood for something a little different than the typical Dungeons & Dragons fan, look no further than Dreamslayer Studios' RPG podcast. Available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you consume your live play RPGs.
So, Mr. Arcane, you have first initiative here right now. Okay. So I'll let you kind of lead us and tell me what you want to do.
All right. Well, first things first, I'll raise my shield because I don't want to die. So.
I'm going to do that too.
Okay. I'll raise my. I'll use my energy control magnetism, and I'll erect a magnetic shield. And then I'll start to hover off. Well, I suppose he probably never actually landed on top, so he's hovering just off the ground there. And I guess that's all I can do for the moment.
Now, quick question, and I kind of just put you roughly about where you were kind of pointing, but I'm wondering tactically if it might not be better if we put you all on top of that roof up above so that you're not in direct view of...
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. All right, and this is a raised area? Is this even higher than the...
Yeah, that's even higher. Yep.
Okay, and now it's... All right, I see there's a rain effect, right? So is it stormy?
It's raining.
Overcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And how far down is it from where we were?
From where you are right now, you are, if we're talking just above ground, you are probably about 80 feet up above ground.
Okay.
And from where you are in relation to where the wall is, it's only about a 20-foot drop.
Okay, so the wall's about 60 from the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
And covered with spikes.
Now, your entrance into the castle is located right in here, if you see where I'm pinging.
Okay. Yep.
But there also might, and you can't see it, but there you would assume there might be an entrance somewhere up here on top as well.
Yeah. Right. There usually is some sort of a balcony.
Are there windows and things? And I mean, this is an old castle, right? So I presume they're like slits, right?
They are, yeah. It's very difficult to see inside. And I mean, you can detect a little bit of like maybe candlelight or lamplight maybe coming from the inside, but that's about it.
I'll raise my shield and I'll kind of stand fast where I am for the moment.
I bet this guy over here is guarding an entrance. I bet you there's an entrance out here because that faces out towards the countryside. Well, maybe not. I might be wrong. I don't know. What do you guys think? Where should we go?
I'd say in. I mean, we don't want to fight out here in the rain and snow, even though it is a very cool effect.
Here? So we know there's a door there.
Yeah, we just got to get down. I'd prefer not to alert every, wolf in a hood that's around here. Because I got a feeling as soon as we alert one, he's going to howl, and then they'll all be on us.
That seems likely.
Well, I can drop on his head.
I mean, Tank could drop on his head.
Well, I don't know if we want to just kill them outright.
Hey, Chris, so actually, since I kind of only raised my shield, can I do one more thing? Or
yeah.
So these guys are all dressed pretty similarly, right? They've got the cloak. They're wearing some sort of wolf, we hope, costume.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like any kind of group that I know anything about? With my, let's see, what's it?
Occultism?
I have occultist and scholar of antiquities.
Mm-hmm. You can roll under occultist, yes.
Okay. All right, I'll spend karma on this, which is good because that was a terrible roll. Let's see, under amazing. All right, so 10 pushes me to a green, so I'll make that a green. I don't know how helpful that's going to be, but.
The look of these guys brings to mind something that you have heard about that has kind of been passed down from generation to generation. And they look as though they might be members of an organization called the Dragon's Circle.
Okay. Okay, so I'll mention that. I'll be like, I think these are Dragon Circle members.
Do we know anything about them?
Their costumes seem to be
like powers, like the ones in Madripoor.
Do they have any powers, or
they're kind of a cult that kind of dates back to maybe the mid 1800s. And there was some rumor, at least in the United States, that there was an organization by that name that kind of hung out in the Wild West.
Okay.
They went by a couple of different names, the Spirit of the Dragon of the Moon. So very little is kind of known about them, but they were basically seekers of arcane power.
Okay.
But they were basically just men.
Okay.
Did some of them eventually attain occult knowledge? Probably. But for the most part, these guys were kind of pretenders.
Okay, so kind of a minor cult, and nothing notable as far as he's concerned, as far as Mr. Arcane knows.
Right.
Okay, so I don't think so. They seek out power, but I've never known of any of them to be especially powerful. They're probably just soldiers.
Can we see from here? I'm assuming there's a gate here.
Yes.
Or a door or something like that.
Yep.
Can we see from where we are if it's open or closed?
It's basically an archway underneath the wall that's right there. Yeah.
Oh, it's like a portcullis?
Yeah, that's a fancy word, yes.
This fella here, is he moving up, down, or just kind of hanging out on the stairs?
Well, they're all kind of moving a little bit. So, I mean, they're kind of like making rounds. And if you guys have been up there for a while, and basically the guys that are like on the walls up here basically move from one location to the other. So like the guy that's right underneath you, he basically walks from the parapet that you're standing on over to the other one over here. So that's kind of his zone. This guy that's right here walks from his tower to the parapet and back. So they all kind of have a little bit of a pattern that they kind of walk.
So when this guy's walking this way, like down the stairs, I'm going to try and fly over here and drop on this guy's head and knock him out.
Before you do that, hold on. Is the portcullis open or closed?
Open.
Is it immediately evident how to close it? Like, is there a big honking lever or something like that?
You make an intuition roll.
Sure.
And is it a metal portcullis?
Stone. 61. Okay. So from the vantage point that you are currently at, it's kind of hard to see directly beneath you and into that tower that's there. But you can see inside the one opposite of you over here. It's a bit of a distance, but yeah, it does look like just inside and on the outside, there are levers that potentially could be pulled.
Okay. Because if we can drop that portcullis, generally speaking, they're not designed to be open from the outside. That means no more people trying to come in, and we just have the one guy that we can yeet over the wall or knock out or whatever.
Or you just ignore him and go in the front door.
Well, I mean this guy right here.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I was going to drop on his head.
Right.
And then we can run over and throw a winning switch or whatever is over there.
Mm-hmm. I think
that's the plan.
I think that's the move.
Okay. So Shelly can fly.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to do so and kind of position herself above this guy. Not too high. She doesn't want to crush him like a bug, but she does want to knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll wait till this guy down here
starts walking down.
Yep, starts walking down. And then she will drop on this poor fella's head.
Okay.
And deliver him the thump of ages.
So charging attack, is that the plan?
I guess, yeah, we'll call it a charging attack, sure.
Okay. So
and I'll be at least 3 areas up so as to get the maximum, which I think is probably too much if he's a regular guy.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe 1 area up.
Are you okay, buddy?
Right?
Are you all right?
Hang on, I got a spatula in here somewhere. Right. Yeah, and she will drop on his head. So, what am I going to roll to do that? Is that an endurance roll?
Endurance, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to spend karma on this. Because I don't really want to be the one who's responsible for the whole thing going to hell in a handbasket right away.
All right, 39 on remarkable. If you want to get it up to a yellow, that would take you to a 66.
66, so...
And that is a possible slam, getting it to a yellow.
Okay.
And you did say that you didn't want to kill him, so I'm going to assume you're pulling your punch.
I am pulling my punch.
But you land on him, you hear a crunch, and he definitely goes down and out.
Okay. She will check his pulse to make sure he's okay.
Yep, he's all right.
And then immediately run over to here and see if there's a lever she can pull or something.
All right. I'll pull you over there.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and make a reason feat.
Oh, a what?
Hey! Yeah,
I don't think she's allowed to spend karma on these.
Hey, Green. Look at that.
Did I spend karma on them for her?
All right, so yeah, you see the lever, grab hold, and pull it, and the gate slowly begins to kind of roll. Well, actually, fairly quickly begins to roll down.
All right, is it loud?
It's loud.
No.
All right, let's boogie.
We're in it now, boys and girls.
Okay.
All right, so you guys moving towards the front door then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that means I need to pull up a different map.
And I think what she'll do is I think she will bend the lever so that nobody can put it back up. Or I guess there's like a winch or something.
Yeah, to get it back up, you need a winch thing.
Yeah, so she'll find that and pull the handle off of it and chuck it into the woods.
I'm going to make a little note of what your initiatives are here, just in case we want to keep those if we run into anything inside.
Yes. That's expeditious combat initiative.
All right. So you guys open the door, and I mean, are you just kind of rushing in, or are you opening the door and taking a peek?
I think we're hustling because that was not a quiet portcullis.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. It certainly drew a lot of attention.
Kerthunk definitely was a tell.
Oh, hollow man! This doesn't.
Shattering kaboom.
So you end up rushing inside and immediately find yourself surrounded by these men and women that are dressed in what looks to be like funerary finest, and
that's good.
Rotting flesh with glowing green eyes.
Oh, it looks like Spartan isn't on the map.
Oh yeah, let me get her in there. I hadn't added. Let me get you in there. There you go.
Now that's better.
I was looking for the big bad guy at the back of the room, but no such luck this time.
No. It's almost like he's smarter than the other fella.
Right?
Maybe and we're not getting a 5,000 karma bonus this time.
You boys chuckle, but the Shadow King has come back from death more than once.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a Marvel game. Yes,
not just a Marvel game. He's in the X books. That's like a special amount of coming back from the dead.
Yeah. Like, it's like the rotating door on the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I'm adjusting your initiatives here. I wish that would carry over, but it does not. 9. And Arcane got a 12.
I'll be right back.
Okay. We need to get Will a non-demon form, especially since he hasn't transformed into a demon yet.
Well, that's the goal, is not to transform into the demon. we went over this, remember?
Yeah, we did at length, at great length.
Yeah.
So to kind of describe the room to you, it's kind of a 3-tiered room. The foyer that you guys have kind of walked into, there's a couple of tables and chairs that are kind of scattered about in here. Long red carpet that runs up through the center that takes you up into the secondary kind of balcony area. There's a couple of what look like almost like bars off to either side of the stairs right there, and then kind of a gathering area here in the middle. Yep. Which then has another set of stairs that go up either side in kind of a U-shaped formation. You can see a dragon's head right here overlooking the main room down below. And up in the other area up in here, you can kind of see this kind of weird kind of goldish like glow coming from the room up top.
Sure. A dragon's head. It's like a dragon's head on the wall.
It is like a dragon's head on the wall.
Is it made of stone? Is it like a statue?
I don't know. It kind of looks a little real.
That's scaly. Okay. All right.
But we now are facing these what look to be some sort of zombie-like creatures that
should I be rolling for extra attacks?
Turned their attention onto you. Yes. So, with that in mind, remember we kind of we started this kind of new initiative and process of extra actions, dodges, etc. So, we're going to experiment around with this. We really didn't get to mess with it, but I've done it now in Marvel Galaxies, and it seems to be working really pretty well.
All right.
So what we're going to do, we've already done initiative, so we're good there. What you will need to do at this point is roll for extra actions, if you can. So you need to have a fighting of at least excellent to be able to roll for extra actions.
Yep. Well, Shelly's using her blade because these are undead.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to go away, not just get knocked out. So that means she has incredible, I believe, for the purposes of this. And can I spend karma on this or no?
Yep, you can.
Okay, I will go ahead and spend karma to bump that up to a yellow.
Mm-hmm. And that would actually get you a total of 3 actions.
Okay.
And Mr. Arcane, are you going to do extra actions?
No, I don't. He doesn't have that good of a fighting.
All right, Tank.
Yep, I got a lot of people to hit.
So I will this is a target-rich environment.
I will spend karma, and this is my fighting.
Yep.
Which has gone up a little bit lately. And do I add my martial arts to that, or just my raw fighting?
B if you got it.
B if you got it.
I got it.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So green.
And you said you wanted to call karma to get it up to a yellow? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that's going to get you 3 actions.
And how much karma am I spending for that?
That's on the incredible. You got to get that to a 61.
Oh, that sounds like math. So it'll be 30 to get it 68 minus 7, so that'll be 23 karma.
Okay. And then Spartan, your fighting is remarkable. And then with your martial arts B, it's incredible. So if you roll on the incredible column, and you can call karma, and I'm going to let you do that if you want to.
Do that.
So if we do that, on the rank that you're at, you've got to get it up to a 31. So your karma is listed on your character sheet. It says 150, so you would subtract that from the 150 up top.
So you need to spend 14.
Mm-hmm. So that will get you an extra action. So 2 actions for you. And Fiend, are you going to do any extras?
I am not capable of doing extras. I am not fighty enough.
Okay. All right, so now the next thing to determine is whether you are going to plan on dodging or evading. Dodging is dodging distance attacks. Evading is for close attacks. And I'll kind of metagame here for you just a little bit. These guys probably don't have any distance attacks. So evade would probably be the name of the game, at least right now.
Zombies being world-famous snipers.
Yeah. If you decide at one point that you want to change that, you may do so by spending 50 karma points to switch to dodge, and then you just have to roll for the dodge instead. So, going back to the top of the list for Bombshell, do you want to, I assume, evade?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 1 evade per turn. Hold one of those back.
Well, actually, this will basically what this does. If you roll right now, we're going to just treat that as a column shift for you for any attacks that would be coming in. So it basically acts as like a defense rate.
Right. It's a continuing thing.
Yep.
All right, we'll go ahead and roll.
And that's under fighting for evade. Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
So it's a -2 column shifts for you. Mr. Arcane?
No, I don't have any extra actions, so I'm just going to...
well, it's not extra actions. This is actually just to evade.
Oh, okay.
But you're levitating,
sure,
aren't you?
I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
You're levitating, though, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, he can still roll for this, though, just in case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
All right, and that's on my fighting?
Fighting, Now, since this is your first time doing it, well, actually, no, you're good. Never mind. You're fine. So no extras on that. So Tank, if you want to roll your fighting.
Okay, what am I attacking here?
Not attacking. This is for an evade.
This is a defense roll, basically.
Okay.
And this will stand. So that's a -4 column shifts for anything coming at you. Spartan, if you'll roll fighting.
That's remarkable.
And that's a -2. And then Fiend.
Oh, that's right. This is a free thing, so.
Yep.
Yeah, free defense.
Nah, I'm good.
That's 0 free. Okay.
I'm
Nerds
just blocking
unite.
with my face.
Nerds unite. Love it.
That actually works for me. I mean, you know, you could definitely hurt yourself punching human Tank.
I just figure with Hank and Will, just like, you know, they've got that academic thing going on of, hey guys, stuck, and they go, what?
Now, for some reason, I can't start combat. Where is the start combat on this one? Oh, well, I'll wing it. So, top would be Mr. Arcane.
Okay. All right, well, there's a bunch of hollow men.
There are indeed.
Well, let's see. He'll just target this closest one, I guess. Maybe that one. I guess he'll just target that one. And I will extend my hand, and a growling tiger's head will streak out, and I'll use Eldritch Blast. I'm sorry, Bolt of Bedevilment. Excuse me.
Wrong game.
Wrong game. Wrong game. Disregard.
Same thing. Wrong game.
Yeah. Let's see. And that for me is I'll spend Karma. Ooh. Sure, we'll take that to a red.
All right. And how much damage does that do?
It's incredible.
All right.
I mean, it's a. Does it count as a shooting? Anyway, they're already dead, so they'll know that a kill result will do anything.
Yep, and he is lit in an eldritch green fire and burns to a crisp.
Well.
And then I'll
seems pretty effective.
Move here and then kind of float. How tall is the ceiling again?
In this area, it's probably about 30 feet.
Okay, he'll probably float somewhere near the ceiling.
Okay. And remember, if you right-click, you can actually change that. I got it for you there, just so so we know. There you are.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, and then that will then go to Human Tank.
Okay. Oh, I do one thing, and I might not be the best there is at what I do, but I do it. I am going to basically do a charge and slam at this guy.
Kablam.
Now that's going to be a charge that's going to be based on endurance, and I believe I get a bonus to that for my actual move.
Yep, so you're going to get a +1 column shift at that range.
Okay, that kicks it up to amazing. Oh.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, again, just to refresh your memory, sorry, it's the damage that gets kicked up. So, you still would have rolled your regular endurance, but we'll keep the 99. That's
at
still
a 99.
Still a red.
I think a 99 on Incredible is still a red.
Yep.
But your damage will be amazing.
Yep. So.
All right. So you hit him, which is a grand slam, and it sends him through the bar and into the wall. back behind him, and
not the booze,
kind of burying him back into the wood of the wall. But as he goes through that bar, limbs and heads just start flying off of him. Like as soon as you hit him, like his head just popped clean off and like rolled back behind you and like rolled to the door. So he
is it still moving?
Dead.
Like is it biting or twitching or otherwise doing things? No. Okay.
Nope. Not so much.
Not Army of Darkness. Good. Those Deadites, man, they were demoralizing to fight. They were mean.
And with these new rules now, you know how we used to kind of roll around into combat and have to come back to the top? We don't have to do that now. So you've got 2 more actions that you can do.
Well, might as well move on to the next one then.
The human ping ball.
Yep. Same thing. This time I will roll on the incredible table for the hit. Better or nothing.
And that's a hit. And that would do another at least 40 points, probably. Yeah, I think just 40 points on that one because of the distance. Okay. But a green takes him down to 0 health. And he goes kersplat.
Well, there's only one, why change a winning formula? Once again, well, if it's not really a charge, then I can just use my fighting.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, my fighting is remarkable, and I have martial arts A, so that also comes up to incredible.
Yep.
Yellow fighting result.
88.
And I have amazing strength, so 50 points of damage, and I'm not sure what a yellow bashing is, but I think that's some kind of special effect.
Yeah. I think that's a slam. So you hit him, and at the angle that he's going, he's actually going to probably hit this other guy right here. Which will be a charging attack coming from him. And that's going to be...
We're going to have to leave a really big tip for the cleaning staff.
20 points of damage to him.
This is really rude of us.
They're just going to reanimate them again.
And I'm kind of going, with my hands doing the, gussing them off. Next.
Next. All right, bombshell.
Okay. Let's see. So we got that one's down. We got one over on the right. I think Mr. Arcane can handle that, or Will, or both of them can handle that guy. I think Spartan's probably got the guy on the left. So I'm gonna follow Tanky up the main stairs. I'm not sure about my speed here. 55 is one area?
No, it's 5 squares. So you're looking at 5, 10, 15, 25.
Okay, 25. So that's 1. 2. Right? No, 2.
2 would be
and
there.
Then 3 would be 75. Okay.
Yep.
So I can get to him. So she goes just zooming up the stairs right behind Tank and comes up and slashes this guy with her sword.
Okay.
So, boss man, I think we established earlier that it's not a power stunt for her to charge up her blade.
Right.
So I think given that these things are icky and dead and need to go away, she's going to do the same.
Okay.
On this, and she's going to take a swipe at him with it. Now, that being said, she has weapon specialist with this blade, and it also gives a +1, so she rolls on monstrous to hit.
Oof.
So I still managed only a green.
And how much damage does that do?
It would normally do incredible damage without adding the electricity, and I don't know how much you want to add to that.
Let's see, your electricity is...
It's normally amazing, 50. So I don't know if you want to don't think you want to do the whole 50 on that. Maybe you get a collar shift or two.
I think it actually would. So
okay.
Yeah. Well, but
all right,
I
so
mean,
90 damage.
Well, sorry, that basically takes it up to amazing. Then,
okay.
So you're doing a combination of both energy and slashing attack on that, but you take the higher then of the two, so it doesn't stack. Yeah.
Okay. So 50 damage then.
Okay. You cleave him in two in an electrical slash motion.
Okay. And then she looks around and she points over at the other guy since she's moved as far as she can move. And Zot sends a bolt of lightning over at him.
All right.
And that is only at remarkable. But still hits.
And that is a hit on him. And he explodes in an electrical burst of lightning.
And I gave all my money to the kid. I feel so bad.
And I think you have one more action, right?
I do have another action, but I am out of movement. So I think she's just gonna hang out and make sure that no other additional baddies show up. And if they do, she's gonna zot them.
All right. Fiend.
Alrighty.
I probably could shoot that guy down there, but I don't want to take all the glory. Let the new gal have some fun too.
All right.
Let's see. I'm right here. I don't want... That guy's right there. So I think we need to grab this guy with some good old-fashioned TK and see if we can kind of beat him like a rug against the floor. Just kind of like...
Puny God.
We're not.
Oh, all right.
I didn't say I was spending karma either, so that's very sad for me.
And that was your one and only action,
very ominously.
All right, Spartan, it's all you.
And I am going to run over to the bad doobie there. I put it right on the top of him, what?
Just move your counter adjacent to him.
There you go.
There you go.
And I am armed with knives, and I tried to cut his head off. His throat.
All right. Now, I don't think that I had knives in there, but we can certainly add that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, edged weapons incredible. The guy was at the interview. There mentioned she would have knives for close combat.
Gotcha. Okay.
I do not remember that, but you may have mentioned it.
I will add that in there for you later on. But yeah, just roll on the incredible column. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yep, I am.
And I would assume those are vibranium blades, so
probably
that's going to do 30 points of damage, which just happens to be exactly what his health is. Now you know.
Zot. Zip.
And you slice him across the throat, and his head just peels backwards, and he falls to his knees and slumps down onto the floor. Now, you do have a second action, but I don't know if you've got enough range to be able to reach the guy across the room there. So, you still can move, and you can move towards him. From where you were, you moved 1, 2, 3 squares. So that would leave you with 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? If you wanted to, I'm going to move you. You actually could get there.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yep.
Can I whack him?
Yep. Whack away.
I'll whack again. So incredible.
Yep.
There you go.
65.
Yellow.
Yeah,
Pretty
I think
good.
we'll do it. And did we literally just clear out all of the Hollow Men in one round? That's awesome.
I'm glad I did my part.
You did.
I
You
did
were
one.
So brave.
I did one.
We're really proud of you, Will.
You know, when we come up against the big boss, I'm just going to be getting white results. You know, all day.
Yeah.
I was just clearing those out for you guys. just getting the dice worked in for you. It's all good.
I should have added about 15 more of those guys in there.
I mean, they're zombies. They can always get back up.
Don't tempt me.
Stop giving the GM ideas.
I can't help it. I've been prepping for Deadlands stuff. I can't help it.
So that leads us to the top of the next round. And that's going to bring us back to Mr. Arcane. So, Mr. Arcane, what do you want to do?
Okay, well, they're all down, right? Let's see.
But we're still
in initiative.
But we're still in initiative. That bodes poorly.
Well, since I don't see, is this a door or these are windows? Right.
Those are windows. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well then. All right. So I still have my flight going. So I'm gonna move. Well, I guess here in front of the dragon head.
Mm-hmm.
And what can I see, like, kind of this area up here? So this is raised. Is it higher than my 30 feet, or?
No. Yeah, you've got a really good, solid view of the room in there. And from your vantage point, what you can see is you see kind of a large, like, kind of spherical object that almost looks like a globe of the world. And it's golden in color and somewhat inset into the stonework of the floor. And you can see that it is very slowly kind of rotating in its housing, but it's not making any noise whatsoever. You hear no mechanical noise to it at all. And there's kind of that goldish kind of glow that is kind of coming off of it.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll move a little bit further.
And actually, from your vantage point, let me show you one more thing.
Oh.
You see a figure that is up at the top of the stairs opposite of the globe, and he holds the Spear of Destiny.
Oh,
now,
oh no.
You have already established that the spear itself is really just the head of the spear. But he has certainly attached it to a staff. So it, once again, lives as a true spear. And he is waving his arm in the air over top of this globe. And the energies that are coming off of it, just with your knowledge, it looks as though he is conducting some sort of arcane ritual in here.
Okay, well, that can't be good. So I counted, I'm about 25 squares from there, from me to him. Am I in range or no?
I do not believe are. I think you can go 15 squares total.
Is this a globe here or a tile?
Yeah, it's a globe.
So
it's
he'll
something
turn...
that can be bold.
Well, it is encased in a housing, so you can see about 3/4 of it from. Well, you probably can't see it from your vantage point, but if you could see it, it's basically resting inside like a stone housing in the floor.
Okay, so he'll turn to the group and say, "I see the spear. I'm going to try something."
Oh no.
Oh no.
So,
step back, I'm going to do science.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's nothing complicated. Well, so I moved that far, but I mean, I do have, remarkable flight?
That's quite a number of areas.
Yeah, I still have plenty of movement, but I don't want to like get into melee with this guy.
Mm-hmm. But you're moving in that direction, correct?
What's that now?
You're moving in that direction towards him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get about right there, and I'm going to have you make an intuition roll for me, please.
Okay. Intuition roll. Okay, I'll use karma on this. Because I don't.
Seems like a smart thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. All right, 51. Ball. 51. Okay, so 10 will bump me to yellow. So.
Okay. So as you're going over top of the dragon's head, you hear, as you just get past the balcony, you hear a noise. And it's hard to describe exactly what the noise sounds like, because you've never heard anything really like it before. But if I
never heard a dragon roar.
Well, if I had to do an onomatopoeia for you, it would be Bamf.
Oh, gotcha.
Damn.
Oh,
Gotcha.
dear.
Also never heard that before, but okay.
And directly behind him, the rest of you guys see this, and he's just turning around. You see a reddish figure dressed almost like a pirate. With kind of a pointed goatee and long pointed red ears, brandishing a rapier that just appeared out of nowhere in this kind of like reddish purple smoke. And Mr. Arcane, you're close enough. As soon as you heard that Bamf, you smell brimstone.
Right. Okay.
And because he was holding his action, he gets to go right before you do.
I was holding an action too.
Oh, you were? Okay, yeah. And actually,
remember? As soon as somebody showed up.
Yes.
You zap.
You may zap.
Well, let's see if I miss. Probably, knowing me, I will miss. Nope.
Whoa, that is not a miss.
That's not a miss.
That's not a miss.
All right, so 91. He does have an evade, which does not count in this because he's not dodging. So you're going to hit him with full force. How much damage does that do?
50 electrical.
50. All right. Let me see if he has anything to soak.
And a yellow on that is just a bullseye. It doesn't have any special, I don't think. Energy, does energy have its own? Yeah, bullseye. No, nothing special.
All right. And I don't think he has anything to protect him from that. So you do full 50 to him.
Probably a bit of a shock for him.
That's bad.
So you hit him just as he is leaping in midair, and you throws him off kilter just a little bit. So I'm going to roll his attack on Mr. Arcane at a -2 column shift.
Good.
And he is basically just attempting to grapple you.
Okay.
Still got an 81 to hit.
Oof. Okay.
So you're flying kind of up above him, and he leaps up and just grabs a hold of you.
Okay.
And he has 2 actions, and what he's going to do is he is going to teleport once again.
That's gonna be an endurance check.
And you get bamfed back to the center of the room here as he throws you to the ground.
Okay.
And that is going to be a fighting feat for him. Does he have wrestling? Oh, no. So he lets go of you, and your flight kind of still kicks in, so you don't hit the floor.
It's more like an awkward caress across your backside.
But you do need to roll an endurance feat for me, please.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. An endurance feat, and my endurance is pretty good.
Oh,
Not
my.
that good.
Ooh, okay.
2 4s.
You don't take any damage, but any actions that you make until you can overcome the nausea that is setting in on you, and I mean immediately you just puke. As soon as he lets you go, you puke.
Oh no!
And you're going to be at a -2 column shifts for any actions until you can overcome this. So at the beginning of your next turn, then you'll roll endurance again to see if you can beat that. Okay? But now it is your actual action starting the round.
Nice. All right, so now it's my action.
Mm-hmm.
So so that will be next time I roll my endurance.
Right, next time you'll roll, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, he's right here in front of me. So I'm going to try and marshal myself and blast him with a bolt of bedevilment. So I will spend karma because I'm already not doing great. So -2 column shifts. Okay. All right. So on the excellent 77, I'll spend to get that up to a red, which means it'll be 77, 20. It'll be 18 karma. So I'll push that to a red.
Okay.
What table is that attack on? Energy or force?
Let me double check.
Because that's the difference between kill and stun.
Yeah. So Devilment. It's on the energy blast, Eldritch Beam.
I think that's energy.
Sounds like it.
Here, universal. This is the most common form. Sure. I think it's energy.
Mm-hmm. All right. So he got a yellow on his endurance. No, and actually, sorry, let me just check something. You said you were taking that up to a red, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. Now again, you're shooting him, so that he doesn't have any minuses to that. Okay. All right. So that's a potential kill. You got a 77, which is not a kill.
Nice.
So he just takes the damage. So how much damage?
So there's a chart in the magic effects table. Mm-hmm. And it's actually under the blasting column, which is a stun.
Okay. So it's under force then.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, so it's
miss, still
hit,
rolled
slam,
a no,
stun.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But how much damage does that take then?
It's 40.
40. Okay.
Yes, it's 40.
All right. All right. So you hit him. And he bamps as soon as you hit.
Don't let him grab you. He says, still hacking up a lung, coughing up his. Don't let him grab you.
All right. So now we're going to go to, the Lord of Death.
Hey, no.
What?
Ooh.
He probably is just busy doing stuff and doesn't want to bother.
Stuff.
He's scrapbooking, and this is going to harsh his vibe. So
actually, yeah, he continues to wave his arm in the air at this point.
We don't want that. Never mind.
I can't find him on the map.
Is he waving because you can't see him from your angle?
Is he waving his arms in the air like he just doesn't care, or is there, is there some purpose to his waving?
Seems to be some sort of purpose.
Oh, there's a purpose.
Well,
and Tanky, I guess it's up to you to decide what that purpose is, and you can kind of just barely make him out from your vantage point.
Now, I still have 3 actions, right?
Yes, you do.
So I need to run up these stairs.
So you got 15 squares of movement.
Per action.
No, for the round.
Oh, okay. That's not going to close me into melee with him.
Right.
Okay. 1, 2.
If he charges, can he go further or no?
No. Still the same amount of movement.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, so we got this whole second floor here. He's really far away for me to throw anything.
Yeah, so this would be about as far as you could get right there.
Yeah.
So 5 squares is an area?
Yep.
Okay.
I was hoping I could at least get to the globe and hurl it at him, but I guess I'm just going to have to get to here and hope for the best. Next, I can get a good look at this globe at least. So is this something that with my strength I could rip up either with or without the framework and just, throw it at him next round?
The globe itself?
Either the globe or the whole thing it's set in. I mean, I have amazing strength now. I can lift 50 tons. And if I make a red result, I can go lift 75 tons.
Gotcha. As Matt Mercer would say, you could certainly try.
Yeah, I know that line. I've been a DM. Okay.
And I'm sure nothing bad will happen to you.
Now, you do have that handy-dandy little banister that's right next to you there that, with amazing strength, you might be able to rip part of that out and chuck it.
I might as well. They're not nearly as impressive, and the thrown weapons are not my strong suit, but I still do have remarkable fighting. I don't have thrown weapons as a talent, so it's just going to be a pure remarkable roll.
Well, it's based on agility.
It's going to be an agility roll.
Oh, well.
Well, fuck it.
I have typical agility. I'm just going to do it for the hell of it then.
When I think gymnast types, I think the human tank.
Yeah, no. Holy.
Hey, there you go.
Wow.
89.
Apparently, I do think of the human tank when I think of gymnast types.
At least when it comes to the javelin event.
I know.
Yeah, whoa. I was just like, okay, whatever. It's like, you roll the die, it can't hurt, so okay. But it is still hurled with my amazing strength.
Correct.
And so do I get any bonuses for it being a relatively heavy object? Maybe smash him back a little? Yellow result? Thrown weapons? I'm not sure. You can judge that. Throwing blunt, yellow is just a hit. Okay.
Just a hit, yeah.
So it still does 50
it's restricted.
points.
I think it's actually restricted by the material strength of the object, too.
Great.
I mean, if it's sturdy, it could be like 20, 30 damage.
Yeah, well, GM will tell me.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
There we go. All right, so you chuck that thing across, and it kind of hits him a little bit more broadsided maybe than you hoped, but it certainly hit, and it certainly hurt.
Good. I kind of do the, come here, gesture.
And you do still have 2 more actions.
Okay, but I can't move any further.
Can't move any further.
Well, this does...
Make an intuition roll for me.
All of us are super good at those, though.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good at those.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
Tank is on fire.
Yeah.
Hopefully not literally.
All right, from your vantage point, you actually spot another figure off in the shadows in that room over there.
Oh.
And he is a large, purple, demon-looking creature that has a single horn coming out of the front of his head.
Yeah, I know who that is.
And he wears a green vest.
That's his little cigar.
Little tight, little kind of panties.
Yeah.
And
I never
smoking a big old stove.
They're called trunks on men.
I never really understood the hot pants.
I think he calls them panties.
So my third action then is I'm going to try to do the Hulk shockwave. I'm just going to smash the ground really hard. It's a stone floor, and I'm kind of aiming it at this guy.
Mm-hmm. Little power stunt action. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's do a power stunt to generate a Hulk-style shockwave. So I have to spend 100 karma on that to even try it, right?
Mundo. Yep.
And do I then have to spend extra karma on top of that to succeed?
You should.
I would advise it.
I will declare karma on spending that for the stunt, and I believe that should be pure strength, though.
Correct. Oof. All right, so you got a yellow with the expenditure of the karma, which is unfortunately not enough to succeed the first time.
Well, I can spend more karma if I want to. I can raise that to a red.
Nope, can only go up one color rank. Yeah. That's always the risk on the power stunt. Yeah. But you have the idea, and it's something that you can do again. And the way the rules kind of state it is usually you can only attempt a power stunt once every 24 hours. So unfortunately, it's not going to work for you again this particular confrontation, but you can certainly try again later.
Next round I will have enough movement to get into melee range, and that's all I care about.
Yeah. So is that attempt the same power stunt or any power stunt?
The same power stunt.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So one more action if you want to try something else.
Well, I mean, you broke the floor pretty good. You could throw a piece of floor at him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I will just take a big chunk of rock and throw it, and I am going to spend some karma on this as well.
And that could look almost like you meant it to go that way.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No, I meant to do that. See, yeah.
And if I say I declared I was spending karma, so that will make it a 99, which I think is red even on typical.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a chunk of rock. That's a lot heavier than a piece of wood. So that should do a pretty decent amount of damage.
All right, so you chuck it at him, and it hits and crumbles.
Oh.
And we're going to go to Bombshell.
Well, there's stuff going on up there.
Yeah.
So Shelly's going to fly up.
And you've got a 6 area range.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So 30 squares is what your range is.
Oh, is it 30 squares? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Which would be 60 feet if you want to use that.
9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I think that puts me right there.
And I'm going to show you guys something. We figured this out in the other game. Like with what you're doing right there, if you take that, the ruler that's next to your token controls, and you click and you drag it, and then you hold... Oh, that's 140 feet, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be right, though, right?
6 areas, with each one being 5.
Yeah.
6 times 5 is 30. Should be 30 squares, right? That's what we said, right?
25. So
that's 5. It's one area.
150. Yeah. So that would be right. That would get you there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now, if you hold control and then hit space.
Oh, nice.
It will actually take you where you want to go.
Nice.
And it's only taken me, 2 years to figure that
out? Just 2 years.
Just 2 years. Wow. Fast learner.
I guess you're really supposed to read the forums, but you know.
That sounds so boring.
That's for losers.
All right. So this fella, is he looking like a undead thing, monster type thing, or is he a people?
He is a people, but he seems to be an enhanced people from the look of him now. He also is wearing the red cloak that the other members of the Dragon Circle were wearing. Underneath that, though, you can see kind of a fleshy mass that is underneath. His mouth has basically been kind of like the flesh has kind of grown over his mouth, so you just see this kind of like webby kind of maw underneath there, and then the same kind of green glowing eyes that the Hollow Men had.
Really gross when you say it like that.
Oh, yeah.
I just made that up on the fly too. That was gross.
All right. He is holding the spear, however.
He is holding the spear.
So we're going to relieve him of the spear by removing his hand from the rest of his body.
Love the confidence.
So I'm going to be attacking with the blade. I'm not going to bother to channel electricity into it. I am focusing on the attack itself and making contact with the appropriate part of his body, which will definitely mess up his world, but won't kill him.
Okay.
So I'm going to be spending karma. And here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Well then, I suppose.
Oh, wow. Okay. You hit, you sever the arm, and the spear and the rest of his hand drop to the ground. He puts his hand up to his arm, grabs hold, and then just begins to crumble to dust.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Action number 2.
And when that happens, behind you, the globe that was rotating silently, you hear it go plunk and fall, and that gold energy that has kind of been cascading across the room suddenly just bursts into this like almost firework display and explodes in the room, and sending shards of the globe itself out in all directions.
Oh dear. I have a feeling it's going to sting a little bit.
Did we just destroy the world?
I hope not.
I hope not.
That's where I keep all my stuff.
And
Yeah.
when that happens, you see the creature, that purple creature off on the opposite side, suddenly begin to writhe. And he goes up in flames. And
Excellent.
opposite of him, you now become aware that there was another individual standing up in the corner. Up in here, I'll pull him out where maybe you guys can see him a little bit better. Right here.
Oh.
And it is another pinkish red demon, clad in red, with a couple of horns on his head and cloven feet.
No.
And for those of you in the know, yes, that was Sim and Belasco. He also now bursts into flames and disappears.
That's what you get.
Bombshell. After that happens, you also now have become aware, being in this room, of like this kind of whirring sound, like a really high-pitched whine. That as you flew into the room, you heard. And that whine kind of reaches like a fever pitch and goes up in pitch. And then you hear ting, 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 ting. All of these like clattering sounds of metal. And I'm going to throw just kind of a generic light in the room here so you can see, because I got rid of that one light. There you go. But now you can see a little bit better. And all around the room, at various points in the balcony, here, all the way around. There are these little kind of cubbies that are kind of inset into the underside of the balcony. And that's where all of those little noises are kind of coming from. And you actually see one or two of these shapes fall out of the holes in the wall. And they're disc-shaped.
Are we still in initiative or no?
Hank?
At this point, the battle is over.
Okay.
Shelly's going to step on what's-his-face's icky hand and pull the spear out of it.
All right, I need you to make a psyche feat, please.
Oh, shit. Someday, she will remember to look with her eyes, not with her hands. But that day is not today.
It shall not be this day.
It shall not be this day. Psyche, you said, right?
Yep.
We're all the way up to good nowadays, I think, on that.
Ooh.
I know. Whoa!
Nice.
Yellow? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I forgot to say I was going to spend karma.
All right, so you grab a hold of the spear, pull it out of his hand, and immediately you just feel this kind of rush of power and greed. And you really like this thing a lot. And you're going to be very, very reluctant to let anybody else take this from you.
Yeah.
Is your precious.
Okay.
But with that in mind, what does everybody else do?
Okay, well, she's got control of the spear. Or she has the spear.
Yeah, it's more like it's got control over her, but...
Yeah, so Hank says, are you okay?
I'm great.
Where are these discs that you were talking about?
They are
here, right?
Yeah, if you guys want to kind of pull yourselves up into this room so you can kind of see there now, you're welcome to do so. I'll help you out here, Beth, and get you up there a little easier.
Speaking of which, just a kind of functional question for Foundry. Is there a way to scroll the screen when I zoom in?
Drag with your left click.
Zoom in.
Zoom in, drag with my left click. Oh, there it is. Right click and drag.
Yeah, you can just drag the
whole
map around.
Yeah, right click and drag, yeah. But I don't think you can do that while you're zooming, though. Yeah, you just have to kind of move the map with the...
No, you can.
Can you?
Yep.
How?
Requires a non-feeble dexterity, but you can do it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Ooh, it's clunky, though, isn't it?
Yep.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it works.
Okay. All right. So the discs are basically located at various points along the balcony, kind of inset into the walls. I don't know if you can see kind of where I'm kind of floating around.
Like kind of like in this area?
Yeah. All the way around. Well, actually, like right down in...
Oh, down. Sorry.
In here, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, against that wall.
Will would like to take a look at these things and try to figure out what the heck.
Now they
are Sim and Belasco still actually here on the map?
Nope, they're gone.
Okay, I want to make it like if we're doing all this stuff when they're standing around, like, guys, aren't we supposed to be fighting the demon things or something?
they disappeared in a plume of smoke and fire.
Okay, just kind of wanted to confirm on that.
So, do you pick one of them up?
Do I pick one of them up?
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
That's a loaded question.
I almost certainly would.
Yes, I do.
Me.
Okay, all right.
Will thinks about it for a minute, and then just goes, okay.
All right. So you pick one up, and they are metal, and they look as though they would be for the size that they are, and they're roughly about the size of like a record, like a 78, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that tells you how old all of us are.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, wow, date us all, why don't you?
An LP, I guess is probably the better term. But you pick it up, and you would figure it would probably weigh, just based off of the size and it being a metal disc, would probably be about 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about maybe 2 inches thick at its thickest point, but it kind of tapers off, not to a sharp edge, but to kind of a fine edge.
Okay.
But you pick it up, and it is super lightweight. And you would say it maybe weighs 10 ounces, 10, 12 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah. Super lightweight. And it has all of these carvings on it.
Mm-hmm.
Strange etchings.
I would like to examine them.
All right. You may make a reason feat, adding any occult knowledge that you would have.
Alrighty. Would my what's it called? Scholar of Antiquities help?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will spend karma.
Okay.
So what do I got to do to get up to a yellow?
All right. So you are on the monstrous table.
Mm-hmm.
To a yellow is 51.
Oh, so 10, because that's the minimum you can spend. Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
With that feat in a yellow, these etchings are certainly ancient and probably predate Aramaic.
Okay.
There are similar characters that are like Aramaic and may be what Aramaic was originally based on, but it's hard for you to truthfully decipher exactly what those are. But they do appear to be probably Terran, of Earth, but maybe an ancient culture of which perhaps you may not be too familiar with.
Really? Now Will's intrigued. He's nerding out just a little bit.
Spartan.
Yes?
I'm going to kind of treat it as though you were kind of coming up while all of this stuff was kind of going on, and that explosion happened, and you heard these things clattering to the ground. I'm going to have you make an intuition feat for me, please.
Okay. Intuition. Ah, remarkable.
Got a green. Now, for you, it's a little easier for you to decipher because we're honing in on the noise, the sound that these things made when they hit the ground.
Yeah.
You've heard that sound before, and just instinctively, you take your spear that you have in your hand and you drop it on the ground, and it makes the same noise. That's vibranium.
Yeah. I would say, those are made out of vibranium.
And what's that again?
Super strong metal?
Huh. Okay, is it, bad to touch?
No?
Will drops it.
And it makes the same sound as her spear.
Huh. I'm kind of going tang, tang, tang against my skin with it, or my armor with it.
Does it do that same no vibration thing that just goes thunk and just it's down?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is weird stuff.
That's strange.
Yeah.
I would definitely think we should collect all of them and not let them into the hands of the Nazis.
Yeah, whatever this is, if it's weird, we don't want the Nazis getting their hands on it.
And thankfully, it didn't do anything terrible to me when I touched it, which I really should have thought of considering my past.
Are they magnetic? Can I use my magnetism on them or no?
You can certainly Try.
Okay,
There's that
try.
again. But I'm going to kind of go back to Will's role. And Will, we were so focused really on the etchings on there more than anything. But then as all of this stuff is kind of going on around you, you're kind of thinking a little bit more about that. And from just the general description of what these things are with the role that you got, it brings to mind something in your memory, an old legend of something called the Drapa Stones.
Okay.
And these are ancient artifacts that have never been tied to a single culture, that some actually do believe to be alien in nature.
Okay. I will share that information with the group. Where do the historical background or even just the kind of mythology around them place them in general? Like, are they a Middle Eastern thing, an African thing? Like,
they are everywhere.
Interesting.
Every culture that you are aware of has had something similar, but the terminology of the Drapa Stones basically come from like the first guy that actually discovered one of them.
Right.
It's somewhere embedded in every culture. And now that you're really thinking about it, you can remember seeing depictions of these things as items of power in carvings in Aztec, carvings in their pyramids and temples. You can remember images of this painted on the walls of like Egyptian tombs. Something similar. Just these disc forms that have little etchings on them. And it reaches into Celtic mythology. It reaches into even old like cave paintings. So these things have been around for millennia.
Okay. The etchings on the discs, are they all the pre-Aramaic language, or do they vary? Like, are there any that are more familiar?
They're all similar and unrecognizable to you.
Should I mention to the group that, to my knowledge, vibranium is only found in my home country, Wakanda?
That is true.
So how did the Nazis get their hands on it?
And if it's only found in Wakanda, then why are there stories about these in pretty much every culture around the world?
Maybe they were taken from there a long, long, long time ago.
That's a possibility. This could be.
Also, remember, these guys weren't Nazis. They actually took the stuff from the Nazis.
They did.
Separate agenda.
They suck, just in a different way.
Yes. But now I have this thing. So the world is safe.
Oh,
we
good.
did it.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I still think there's a lot more of this tower. We ain't run into Bela Lugosi yet, so I'm not going to let down my guard too much.
Bombshell, where are you during all of this? I mean,
she's kind of standing here on the days where Evil Boy was, kind of just standing there holding the spear in her hand and kind of like looking at it, holding the sword in the other hand, just kind of feeling like a warrior princess and feeling pretty good about herself right now.
Mr. Arcane, did you pick up any of those stones?
Well, I wanted to try and use my magnetism, my energy control magnetism, my spell, and I wanted to see if I could bring one over to me. So,
and I'm not going to have you roll for that. We'll just kind of do a hand wave on that. And now you're testing my knowledge a little bit.
I don't know either.
I do not think that vibranium is actually magnetic.
I don't think it is.
In Marvel, it is not.
Okay.
Yeah, Magneto can't control that stuff, right?
Nope.
All right. So, if you are attempting to try to...
that it is.
I just did a search, and it says vibranium has magnetic properties.
Okay.
From
All right,
the
thank
Marvel... Of course, that's from the cinematic universe. I don't know if it's from the...
That's true.
In the comics, vibranium is non-magnetic.
It is not. That's true. In the
comics, basically, it's your call, boss.
Yeah.
And then you have to remember what you ruled for future.
We are definitely going with the comic version.
Here we go. Can Magneto control vibranium?
It's
not so much that Magneto cannot affect vibranium, it's that the metal's vibratory nature and energy absorption components can be harnessed in such a way that the master of magnetism has met its match. So while it is magnetic, when he attempts to exert influence on it, it absorbs the energy.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a really fancy way of saying no.
Yeah. And then it goes into Antarctic vibranium versus Wakandan vibranium.
Oh god, here we go.
That's a whole thing.
This is what happens when you have over almost 100 years of lore. I mean, like 1939 was the first Marvel superhero comic. Not quite 100 years, 80 years of lore.
And this is why I go down rabbit holes and don't get any writing done. Because now I'm going to read that article about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. So just very quickly, he'll, kind of extend his hand out and, gesture and, well, it's not magnetic. So that doesn't mean a lot, but despite being metal, I mean, there are plenty of metals that are non-ferrous. But then he turns back to Shelley. Are you sure you're okay? Because that's a powerful artifact.
And I know Jeff just stepped away there for a moment, and we're getting pretty close to time. So I'm going to say that Bombshell takes the spear and she says, "I told you I'm fine." And she taps it on the ground. And when she does, all of the Drapa stones float for a moment, spin, and then come back down.
That's not good.
And I think that we'll leave that as our cliffhanger for the next session.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And we'll fill Jeff in so that he doesn't feel left out on that. But I knew we needed to bring it to a close because we're here.
I'm listening. No, sorry, I was on mute.
Time. Oh, okay. All right. Did you hear that?
I did it. I heard all of it.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right. So let's dole out some karma points, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Karma.
Let's see here. That would be 100, 200, 300. So 300 karma points for tonight's little adventure.
All right.
Nice. I gotta say, with Bombshell cutting off that arm, I wasn't really anticipating that. That cut things a whole lot shorter.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, no, that's good.
Literally just thought of it when I got up there.
No, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so he was really, literally doing a summoning spell that he had to maintain focus on to keep Belasco and Sim there in the room with him.
Oh, gotcha. So basically, Bombshell, you disarmed him.
Oh, no.
Now remember, Beth has to live with this every day of the week, so you guys only have to deal with me once every 2 weeks.